The Monster Below by Greenback, read by Deathlight, Chapter 25, Icarus, Part 1. Tartarus, it's said, is the place of horror and utter despair. If it really is what the rumors and legends say, then the scene before me looks like something straight out of it. Screams echo throughout the tower surrounding Metacomp, and the air itself is thick with smoke and fire. It takes every ounce of courage I have to fly through the smoke, coughing as I struggle to find my way through. It finally clears and I burst through to the Metacomp Plaza. If I thought I'd gotten a glimpse of Tartarus before, I certainly have now. The plaza is a war zone, the building is engulfed in flames. A few have collapsed, spewing wreckage across the ground. Now filled with panic, screaming ponies. They probably loyal guardians who stayed behind to demonstrate their opposition to Metacomp, but now they're easy targets for Mangus's guards. They're firing into the crowd at random, having the time of their lives, swooping down and ripping horns off the dead or unconscious ponies. I frantically look for Mangus. Every one of these guards before me is a bully. If I take out their leader, they lose confidence and scatter. But there's no sight of him. Either he's hiding or watching from up high, letting his goons do all the dirty work. His laughter drifts through the air, and I spot him flying up from the crowd, dangling a poor soul in his magic. Wait, I know that pony. It's the Heckler. He's fighting with all of his might against Mangus' spell. Mangus laughs. That's an impressive speech he gave earlier. He leans in close. Please tell me it's a joke. Come on, I gotta hear those words. The Heckler fires a blast at Mangus, who raises his shield to block the spell. A smash to the face knocks the Heckler senseless. Let me give you some advice. Real conquerors don't parade around in public or make speeches. They hide, work behind the scenes, and strike when the time is right. The Heckler fights with all his strength, but can't break free from the spell holding him aloft. Do you have any kids? A wife? Husband? 2 children. The Heckler growls, glaring at Mangus. And when I'm done, I'll tell them how you felt like so many before you. Mangus jams his horn into the Heckler's throat and slices half of it away. No, you won't. Racked with pain, the Heckler grabs his throat, blood gushing over his hooves. Even from this far away, I can see confusion and fear in his eyes. Then he's gone as Mangus lets go and the Heckler plunges into the crowd below, vanishing from sight. Mangus, he actually killed someone. In all my life, I never thought he'd actually do such a thing. But if he's willing to kill one pony, he'll go after all the others. I charge, my hooves outstretched. It's only at the last second that Mangus notices me, but it's too late as I bash him from the sky and demolish the stage below. He hits hard, and I'm right behind him, ready to end this before he can recover. But Mangus is faster than I thought and fires off a barrage of blasts. It's only by some miracle that I manage to veer clear and land on the opposite end of the stage. Mangus is surprised to see me, but wastes no time in slipping into his old habits. Well, looky here, everyone. We've got a little colt who lost his mommy. His guards fly down. You lost, little boy? They all laugh, and the memories hit me. Memories of being a child, trapped in the schoolyard as Mangus and his goons corner me against the wall. But that was long ago, and I'm not the helpless little colt anymore. You aren't gonna harm anyone ever again. I say, and I mean it. Oh, serious are we? What are you gonna do, Silver Squeak? Tear my horn off? Mangus recoils in mock horror. Oh, Mommy, please protect me from the scary earth pony. I'm a child again, and seeing Mangus pretend to be me, mockingly crying out for my parents to come and save me. And even now, it's just as painful as it was all those years ago. Shaking, I shout and hurl a blast at Mangus, wanting to wipe that smug grin off his face. He sees the blast coming and drops the act to throw up his shield, blocking the blow. The smile vanishes from Mangus's face. Y'all keep getting horns. Mangus tells his guards, "But leave Silverspeak to me. He's mine, understand?" The guards retreat, but stop and hover a short distance away, eager to watch what they believe to be a curb-stop battle, but not if I can help it. I tense, ready to spring. Mangus does the same. And for a long moment, we glare at each other, silently daring each other to make the first move. "You know you can't win, don't you? I've got hundreds of horns just waiting for me." He points towards my head. "But there's only one I really want. Nothing you say or do will make me give it to you." Mangus grins. "Who says I'm going to ask?" His legs tighten. "I'm going to take it." Mangus sprints across the stage. I do the same, and there's no fear at all. Only the knowledge that no matter the cost, I have to stop him. We hit, and immediately I unleash a barrage of blows to Mangus's face. He blocks each one. I swing faster, and though Mangus blocks me, he's forced to take a few steps back. Mangus lashes out with a kick, and I fall, rolling to the side as he smashes his leg down, trying to break my neck the way he broke Beatbreaker's legs. Leaping back up, I eye him, my mind racing faster than I ever thought possible. As an earth pony, I'm physically stronger than Mangus, and can take more blows and last longer in terms of endurance. Not only that, but I have more experience in flying, so in the air, I'll be able to outmaneuver him while he wears himself out. But Mangus has the advantage of actual combat experience, brought on by many years of schoolyard fights and brawls. And as a unicorn, he had a lifetime of practicing performing his magical skills, where I had only a few days to do so. No doubt he knows many combat spells, and with his abilities enhanced, he could permanently take me out with a single shot. For the first time in our lives, we're evenly matched, and I'm relishing the chance for some payback. Mangus charges, I roll to the side, firing off a blast, only to see it deflected with that shield of his. I leap, trying to tackle him, and he fires a shockwave and blasts me into the air. Spinning, I furiously flap my wings to stabilize myself. Mangus laughs. "Is that the best you can do, Silverspeak?" I fire again, but into the ground this time. The resulting eruption catapults Mangus into the air. He cries out in surprise, flapping his wings. By the time he comes to a stop, he's not laughing anymore. He's shocked, realizing I'm no longer a toy he can kick around without repercussions. I charge, and Mangus veers up to fly over me, but I easily adjust my angle and ram him, punching away at his face. Mangus tries to fight back, but he's never fought and tries to stay aloft at the same time, and struggles to do both. I have the advantage. "Guys!" Mangus shouts. "Help!" Someone hits us, and I'm ripped away from Mangus. I twist to see the face of one of his guards. I bash him in the face, and he's knocked out cold after two of my hardest hits. I tear free as he collapses onto a rooftop. I turn to spawn Mangus, who now has the rest of his guards with him. He points towards me, and they charge. On one hoof, it's gratifying to see Mangus can be a coward and let others fight for him if he thinks he can't win a fight fair and square. On the other hoof, I have to deal with all of his guards at once. Blast shoot past me, and I flee for my life, firing back at them as I go. The guards dodge, but they're still new to flying, and they lose track of where they were going. A few bounce off the side of buildings and get the wind knocked out of them. One guard dodges a shot and smashes head first into a building, falling to the ground like a rag doll. I look back, Mangus is firing on the crowd, trying to get more horns to obtain more power. I have to get back to him, but how? I can't fight him with all these guards on my tail, and couldn't compete with their firepower. Wait, maybe I didn't need the firepower. Maybe I can take him out with a single shot. I break away and fly upwards, starting a long arc. The guards follow, and we do a loop high above the plaza. Reaching the peak, I give a quick burst and shoot down towards the ground. As I hope, the guards try to do the same, on the veer and swerve as their faces turn green. I must then vomit, not used to such maneuvers. And as I start to level, I suddenly do a fast turn and head straight up. A sharp pain tears into my wing muscles, but they hold. The guards aren't as lucky. I hear screams. Looking back, I see them falling from the sky, their wings torn from their backs, leaving them helpless as they plunge towards the crowds far below. I had only intended for them to get so sick that they gave up the chase, but I feel no sorrow as they fall. It would have killed me if given the chance, and I had already killed numerous ponies in the crowd. With the guards taken care of, I look for Mangus, only to see him shooting towards me. He roars in fury as seeing his fellow guards fall to their deaths. I can't get away as he blasts me through the windows of a nearby skyscraper. It feels like hammers are smashing into me as I hit chairs, desks, and walls before finally skating to a stop. The pain, oh Celestia, it hurts. I stand, spitting blood from my mouth. Nothing feels broken, but even if I survive the night, I'll be covered in bruises and probably won't be able to walk for a week. The window shatters, Mangus flies inside, firing a massive beam that tears the floor apart. Instinct screams at me to get away, and I roll, missing his beam by inches. But the beam cuts so close that the intense heat causes my side to erupt into flames. I scream, the pain sharp and searing. The instinct takes hold as I bug, trying to get away, but then I remember a jingle from grade school. If you ever catch on fire, then stop, drop, and roll. I do so, rolling on the floor and thanking Celestia that the flames die out. Scrambling up, I looked at my side, nearly weeping at the pain. My fur is half melted, and the skin beneath is badly burnt. Mangus lands. What's the matter? Can't take the heat? He lands, and I'm blasted into a nearby office. You should have thought of that when he killed my boys! Biting down to silence the scream, I rolled on my burnt side and scrambled out of the office. Emerging into a room littered with cubicles. I hid inside, trying to remember how to cast the healing spell. I hear Mangus walking into the room. You know, Silverspeak, none of this would have had to happen if you just let me take your horn. But no, you had to fight. You had to goad me on. This is the result. Everything that happens here tonight is your fault. I try to ignore him as I finally get a green mist emanate from my horn and envelop the burnt side of my body. I try to hold back the relieved sigh as the pain vanished. Mangus presses on my hiding spots. Come out and fight, or are you just gonna hide? He fires, destroying a nearby cubicle. I'm in no rush, I have all night. It's not like anyone is going to get into this city, or out. Then what would they do? Oh wait, let me guess. They'd be like you. They go running and crying to Princess Celestia for help. After all, isn't that what you did all those years ago in that letter you wrote? I froze. How does he? I started snooping through your mail, looking for something I can use against you. So, when I saw you heading towards the post office one day, I followed you. And guess what I levitated out of the mail slots? A letter to the princess herself. Mangus clears his throat and mockingly impersonates my voice. Dear Princess Celestia, my name is Silverspeak, and I don't feel loved. Please help me feel nice and important, because I'm a useless pony who whines about how every other pony is special. If there's one thing I hate about Mangus Bluehorn more than anything else, it's when he does that sing-song voice of his, and I heard it countless times as a child, always mocking me. My vision goes red, and I leap from the cubicle, magically grabbing hold of a nearby desk and smashing it into Mangus's back, turning his happy voice into a startled shriek. I leap onto his back and grab hold of his horn, trying to tear it off. If my letter had reached Celestia, then everything could have been different. She could have helped me, and everything could have been different. Everything would have changed. But Mangus, stupid, idiotic Mangus, screwed everything up. With a roar, I rolled and kicked Mangus away with all the strength my legs could muster. He flies through the window and plunges from sight. I leap after him as he struggles to regain control, plunging towards the crowded streets far below. We fall down the side of the building, but I'm forced to break off as he fires off a barrage of blasts. By the time I dodged them, he pulled out of his fall and gone into a controlled dive, coming to a stop above the streets. "Nice try!" he shouts, firing a blast. I'm forced to veer away, coming so close to Mangus that our wings touch. He turns and gives chase as I fly to the top of the closest tower and beyond, shooting over Manhattan skyscrapers. At some points, getting so close that my belly almost scrapes the rooftops. Mangus follows behind me like a hawk in pursuit of dinner, firing a shot every now and again, but he's not trying to hit me, he's toying with me. "Let's play a game, Silverspeak. Every minute you refuse to surrender, I'll blow a building to pieces. How does that sound?" I flip over and fire off a shot. He dodges, then fires off his largest blast yet, and I have to throw myself aside to miss it. I look down and see his target, the Manhattan Library. The blast hits the western wing, which erupts into a thunderous explosion, the heat scorching my wingtips as I fly to rise above it. Somewhere inside that explosion was the remains of thousands of books and priceless manuscripts, all blown to pieces in a careless blast. "That's one. What's next?" I spin and head towards the park, and maybe I can lose him there, and several blasts shoot ahead, destroying a baseball field. The park's exquisite garden erupts into flames as the fires break down. If they aren't contained, the park will burn to the ground before dawn. "That's two!" I have to stop this maniac, and fast. I flip over and fire off blasts as fast as I can, trying to overwhelm Mangus with sheer numbers. But that shield of his blocks all of them, and he keeps coming. Oh look, third time's going to be the charm. I look ahead, and my heart leaps into my throat. The hospital lies before us, and I can see forms moving towards the inside. The place has been filled since I dropped B-Breaker off, most certainly with the wounded from Mangus' rampage. If he hits the building with one of his blasts, I can just see tomorrow's headline. Mangus calls out. Silverspeak refuses to surrender, causing the hospital to blow up. His horn glows as he charges another blast. What a story that'll make. No, sweet heavens, no. I rocket towards him and the two of us collide, falling to the closest rooftop. Mangus leaps up, but I'm faster, punching him in the face with a frantic barrage. But he raises that shield and bashes me with it, knocking me flat on my back. He leaps onto me, his horn pointed right at my eye. "Well, you're awfully eager to protect that place," he says with a chuckle. "Why, after all, you know no one there, unless..." He trails off, thinking, "Unless there's someone very special to you." "No!" "Someone you want to save, that you took here to be healed." No. I think B-Breaker could use a gas to cheer her up, don't you think? I scream, try to fire off a blast, but Mangus is ready and smashes his hoof into my face. My vision goes white, and an incredible pain shoots through my skull until it feels like it's going to burst, and an ear-splitting ring drowns out all sound. I can't move, can't get up, no matter what I try. I can't even move without feeling like all my blood vessels in my brain is about to burst. Slowly, far too slowly, the rings go away. My vision starts to clear, and finally comes back to focus. I keep my hooves up in case Mangus is waiting to hit me again. But he's gone. Trying to stand, I spot the hospital. Pillars of smoke rise from its base. Leaping up, I shoot towards the hospital as fast as my wings could carry me. Oh, please, Celestia, don't let me be too late! As I touch down, I found the hospital entrance surrounded by demolished ambulances and smoking craters. Nobody's in sight as I creep into the door. I dreaded what I might find inside. So with my horn charging up last, I slowly opened the door and slipped inside. To my surprise, however, the hospital lobby was intact, with not so much as a potted plant out of place. There's no sign of violence, no blood upon the walls or ponies with their horns missing. It's as if everyone just got up and left. I wanted to call out to see if anyone's here, but decided to stay silent. No doubt, I was walking into a trap, but if I can delay Mangus knowing I'm here, then the better my chances are. I make my way for the stairs, only to find that the handle had been welded shut. The metal's still warm, and it's impossible to get through without raising a ruckus. But no sooner do I step inside than the lights snap out, plunging the hall into darkness. Come into my web, said the spider to the fly. I jumped, momentarily thinking that Mangus was right beside me. But no, he's not there. His voice is filtered. He's coming through the hospital's intercom system. Mares and genitals, please remain calm. Whether you live or die depends on what the actions our guest, Mr. Silverspeak, takes in the next few minutes. Oh no, not more mind games. I have no intention of going through those again, especially if someone's life is at stake. Only this time, I'm not tied down and helpless. I take off down the darkened hallway, relying on flashes of lightning to guide me. Mares and genitals, here's your question for the day. What is the value of life? What is one life versus several hundred? No doubt, all you value your lives and the lives of your loved ones who are sick and injured. Tell me, what would you do to save them? Would you give up your own life? Would you willingly take the life of the sick and injured stranger in the room next to you? I reached the next staircase and found it unlocked, but it only goes up a single floor before I found the stairs have been demolished. Mangus is hurting me somewhere. My only hope is that I'm moving faster than he expected. I break out onto the second floor as Mangus' voice comes over the speakers again. Thought things over? Good. Not that your choices matter to me. Because I'm now addressing you, Silverspeak. I know you're willing to deceive, fight, and do anything necessary to save the one you care for, but what if your decision affects hundreds? I stopped dreading where this is going. I'm in the security room now. I can see your every move. I'm on the 5th floor, the same one where Beatbreaker is. When I say so, a timer will start. You will have 1 minute to surrender to me. If you do, we both know what will happen. But rest assured, I will let everyone here stroll out the front doors unharmed. But where are they, you ask? Why are they inside all the rooms around you? Why don't they just leave? Because when I came in here, I told everyone if I see a pony out in the halls, or slip through a window, the entire building is gonna go down with them inside. So, what will you do now, Silverspeak? Tell me, is this what you expected being an Alicorn is like? Or did you imagine that it'd be all sunshine and rainbows all the time? Well, guess what? The real world isn't like that. Because there are choices we all have to make. Me versus you, you versus them. Whatever I want versus whatever you want. And those choices reveal who you are. I know what type of pony you are, Silverspeak. And I'll show these fine ponies who you are. Your minute starts now. I couldn't believe it. I now know that Mangus is willing to kill others to get what he wants. But to threaten and injure helpless ponies? I can't surrender that maniac, but if I can reach him, I can end this madness before I can hurt anyone. I ran for the stairs, then stopped. I aimed up, prayed that the floors above me were structured similarly to this floor, and fired a heavy blast into the ceiling. When the smoke clears, I see 3 holes stretching all the way up to the 5th floor. I waste no time in flying through them. Hey, you can't do that! Mangus' outraged yell is abruptly cut off once I reach the 5th floor. No doubt, he's running for Beatbreaker's room. I run too, blasting equipment aside. I have to reach her before he does, but where is she? I've never been in the hospital, and I can't remember where her room is. I reach the main control center. I spin around, recognizing the door and surrounding equipment when I was from the outside looking in. Charging, I kick the door open. Beatbreaker, are you? Mangus is already inside, and has Beatbreaker hovering beside him. Any drug she had worn off, leaving her wide awake and scared out of her mind. Too late. Mingus chuckles. Buck! Before I can fire, Mingus magically hovers Beatbreaker between me and him, having her act as a living shield. I can't get to him without tearing through her, and he knows it. Beatbreaker looks at me, struggling not to cry. She knows what Mingus can do to her. You're clever, Silverspeak, I'll give you that. But it's over, I win. Now, here's how it's all gonna go down. You back off, inject yourself with a tranquilizer, and lay down on the ground. After that, I'll... Buck you! I fire at the ceiling, it explodes, and a massive operating table crashes through. Caught completely by surprise, Mingus drops Beatbreaker and shoves the table aside. Caught completely by surprise, Mingus drops Beatbreaker to shove the table aside. And as he does so, a white-hot anger shoots through me. Mingus keeps threatening to kill Beatbreaker and Innocence. Also he can torment me into making sadistic choices. I'm not gonna let him do so again, with the rage making it so easy to focus a killing blast. Mingus sees my blast, but it only partly raises his shield. He blocks most of the blast, but it still grazes his side. He screams in agony, now missing a large chunk of skin, revealing burnt muscle beneath. To me, he screams in tears of pain as sweet vengeance. Mingus stares at the wound in shock, unable to believe his actions been hurt, and, by me, his childhood punching bag. Then he turns to me, enraged beyond anything I've ever seen. No childhood bullying, no incident where I fought back can compare to the anger before me. You want a fight? Then I'll give you a fight! Realizing what was going to happen, I grab Beatbreaker and run for my life as Mingus fires. A massive beam of blood red energy destroys the door as I slam it shut. But the beam doesn't stop, slicing through the building as if the walls were made of paper. The heat is so intense that everything near it erupts into flame. And in seconds, the entire floor is on fire. With her legs encased, Beatbreaker is helpless, and completely dependent on me to save her. I run for the staircase, Mingus' beam slicing through the walls, ceilings, and floor. He's gone crazy, firing at random, slicing in the building without care of where or who he's hitting. And a huge chunk of the hospital falls away. Terrified screams echo from nearby rooms. If the ponies in them were like Beatbreaker, then they were helpless to move. They're going to be burned alive. I grabbed a nearby sprinkler system, yanked on the handle. The sprinklers in the ceiling erupt, but the damage Mingus had inflicted limited their effectiveness. I need to do more, but what? I've never conjured water before, but I have to try. Closing my eyes, I imagine a massive beam of cold, wet water bursting from a horn like a fire hose. Concentrating, I do everything I can to see it come forth, and let go. Water blasts from my horn, and I aim it onto the walls and anything ablaze. Smoke and steam fill the room, but I can hear the fires going out. The floors shake, and I hear Mingus' roars grow louder. He's chasing us. Kicking the stairwell door open, I run inside, only to skid to a stop. The beam has torn the staircase away from the walls. The cascade of metal falling from above, threatening to drag us into a flaming inferno below. And with the flames at my back, we couldn't retreat. The only way out is up. An explosion erupts through the building. Beatbreaker screams. Hold on! Clutching Beatbreaker, I leap onto the stairwell and fly upwards. But as we near the top, the entire top of the stairwell explodes and comes crashing down. Beatbreaker screams so loudly, my ears hurt. There's no time to think or second guess myself. I run the closest door and emerge into one of the upper floors. Ponies have run from their rooms, fearing the worst from the explosions down below. Out! Everyone out! Mingus is bringing the building down! Ponies ran for the fire escape, but they were knocked down as the floor erupted. Mingus beats his way through and kicks me into a wall. I lose my grip on Beatbreaker and she hits the floor. Silverspeak! She shouts, trying to get to me. Silverspeak, get up! I tried, but before I can recover, Beatbreaker screams as Mingus grabs her, then smashes through the nearest window and into the sky. No! Getting up, I run and leap through the window, giving chase as Mangus flies to the top of the hospital's roof. I ready another killing beam, but stop. With Beatbreaker as a hostage, I couldn't fire with the risk of hitting her. Keeping Beatbreaker up, Mangus charges his horn and fires. The blast is easy to dodge, and I hope that perhaps he's gone so crazy from the pain he's losing control. But then I hear metal tearing. I turn, and my heart skips a beat. Mangus wasn't aiming at me, he was aiming at the skyscraper next to the hospital. The upper had been severed, and it starts to fall. Mangus takes off into the sky. If I try to stop the building, Mangus will kill Beatbreaker. If I go after him, then everyone in the hospital will be crushed. Already I can hear them screaming as those near the windows realizing what's happening. Every instinct tells me I should go after Mangus, but I can't leave these ponies to die. No one I can save them. I shoot towards the hospital as the concrete starts to explode. The building already beginning to fall over. I only have one chance at this and charge my horn, visualizing a huge force field emerging to catch the tower. As it falls over, a green energy shoots through my horn and envelops the building. But it keeps coming, the weight pressing me to the roof. Oh, Celestia, it's so heavy. The building keeps coming down. I'm knocked to my back. And I have a front row seat to see an entire skyscraper coming down to crush me. I shout, my head feeling like it's gonna tear itself apart. But I force myself to throw all my strength into the horn. Something wet trickled down my cheeks, and I realized I was bleeding from my eyes and nose. I can't do this. I'm just not strong enough to hold up an entire building. But maybe I don't have to. Using everything I got, I forced the beam to turn. I couldn't stop the building from coming down, but I could turn it aside. And sure enough, the building floats away from the hospital. There's no time to see if anyone's on the street below. And I can only pray there isn't, because I couldn't hold the building up any longer. I let go, and the building falls into the street and implodes upon itself. Ash and dust flying up, like soot from a volcano. I collapse, gasping for air, my head throbbing with pain. Blood continues to dribble onto the rooftop. I wipe it away as I go to the edge and look down. And to my intense relief, police officers have managed to herd the ponies away from the building. They probably saw it coming down and tried to get everyone away so nobody else would get killed when the hospital collapses. And in doing so, they've saved hundreds of lives. The hospital is saved, and from the looks of things, the fires below have been mostly extinguished, ending the threat of the fire. But where's Mangus? Looking to the sky, I spot him flying towards the dome, taking Beatbreaker with him, no doubt, hoping to escape. Like Tartarus he will! I beat my wings and take off after him. Mangus has a huge lead on me as he shoots higher and higher, reaching the very top of the dome. He fires a stream of magic and a hole appears. I speed up, but as soon as Mangus and Beatbreaker head through, fires his magic and it starts to seal up. I fire several blasts, forced to break off. Mangus couldn't seal the hole, and I shoot through the dome into the storm beyond. Almost instantly, I'm drenched from the heavy rain, and the howling winds threaten to blow me away like a leaf in a hurricane. The Mangus flies up into the massive clouds. Struggling to keep a steady course, I follow, and we all go into the storm together. Everything goes dark, and I can't see anything ahead of me until a flash of lightning momentarily lights my way. Mangus and Beatbreaker are straight ahead, but everything goes dark once more. Blind, I keep going forward until a barrage of flash lights my way. Mangus and Beatbreaker are gone. No! With a burst of speed, I try to catch up and emerge into a gap between the rolling clouds. I spin, looking for any sign of Mangus, who could be anywhere. Could be above me, below me, or shooting back towards Manhattan, where I'd had no chance of finding him, or Beatbreaker again. I blink, trying to clear the water from my eyes. After far off a blast, a random shot may hit him, or come close and provoke him into firing. Something hits me, and my back feels like it's drenched in acid. I scream and start to fall, only to manage to regain control. A blast narrowly missed me. Mangus is somewhere nearby, and as long as he's gonna try to hit me, that means I can find him. I have to outlast him, watching to see where he blasts. A nearby cloud briefly lights up, and a blast shoots towards me. I'm already rocketing into the cloud and spot Mangus. Beatbreaker floating beside him, apparently tethered to Mangus by one of his spells. She's struggling for all she's worth. Mangus fires, and I do the same. Our blast hit, exploding a burst of colors as I ram him. As we all go tumbling head over heels through the storm. At such a close range, Mangus and I are forced to do melee combat, hitting each other again and again as we spin and twirl until I can't tell which way is up or down. I feel magic pulling at my horn. Mangus has given up on playing, and now he's trying to rip off my horn with brute force. I hit him again and again, the way he used to hit me. The memory of each schoolyard taunt, every prank, every beating fuels my blows as I hammer away at him. I want to see his snout broken, I want to see his face caved in. Celestia, help me, he's not gonna hurt Beatbreaker or anyone else ever again. With a fast jab, Mangus thrusts his head forward, his horn cutting into my chest. I shriek, grabbing the wound as he jabs again. Every time, nearly missing my left eye as he slices open my cheek. Then, he leaps forward and sinks his teeth into my neck, trying to tear into my jugular vein. I scream, feeling hot blood flowing down my fur. Then, Mangus is knocked away, taking a chunk of my skin with him. Beatbreaker managed to get close enough to kick him away, buying me a few precious seconds, but those are cut short as Mangus orientates himself and unleashes his most powerful barrage yet, firing off shot after shot with a speed that shouldn't even be possible, trying to vaporize me with raw, overwhelming power. I couldn't fight back against that power, much less the sky blanketed with so many blasts I can barely see them coming. With one hoof pressed against my bleeding neck, I take off through the clouds, trying to outrace Mangus and get some breathing room. But he's right on me, the blast getting closer as Mangus narrows his aim. A blast shoots past me, I just narrowly dodge, but not enough. It cuts into my burnt side, and I nearly pass out from the pain, screaming as I fall. I can't see, can't focus, and in a flash of lightning, I see the white of ribs, now exposed to the open air. Oh, sweet Celestia, he sliced me open! Mangus sliced me open! More blasts. It's so tempting to give in and pass out to the pain. But I managed to gain control and stop my plunge, spinning to try to stay away from those blasts, hauling through the pain that comes by every flap of my wings. And the pain is growing worse. That blast is done something to my wings, causing them to fail. Inevitably, I won't be able to fly anymore, and there's nothing I can... Wait, there is something I can try. It's a long shot, but it's the only chance I got. Biting down, I fly straight up, as fast as I can. Blast following me, a sign that Mangus is following. Clouds become darker, and my eyes sting as the water and wind alike lash at them. But they vanish as I manage to break through into a massive vortex that resembles the center of a tornado. We're in the heart of the storm, and several miles above is the clear night sky. I fly higher and higher, the blasts stop, and I risk a backwards glance. Mangus is closing the distance between us, sporting a grin that looked almost demonic. I'm coming for you! I force my aching wings to go faster. I'm going to get you! Come on! Come on! The air around me is brutally cold, and it feels like my skin is starting to freeze. I take the deepest breath I can. Mangus finally catches me. He grabs my tail, thrusts his horn in my leg, and the tip punches through the other side. I feel it happen, but the air is so cold, there's almost no pain. I kick with my good leg, knocking him off. But then Mangus speeds up and catches me again. Rearing back, he readies another thrust, only he stops. He looks at me, seemingly confused, as if he'd forgotten why we were fighting. Then Mangus' eyes roll back, and he goes limp. falling from the sky as he passes out from lack of oxygen. Yes! Stopping, I give my wings the briefest second to rest, and then I'm falling. My lungs are burning, and I don't dare breathe until the air gets slightly warmer. Only then do I grab a lungful of searingly cold air. It hurts to breathe, but I try to ignore it, shooting after Beatbreaker. Unlike Mangus, she realized what I was doing and managed to hold her breath like I did. Rocketing down, I magically grabbed hold of the sphere she was encased in, and bring it to a stop. Beatbreaker! I shout over the howling storm. Beatbreaker, are you okay? From the looks of things, Beatbreaker can hear me, but she couldn't understand what I'm saying. Don't worry, I'm gonna get you down. We'll get back to the sphere is suddenly yanked from my grasp and shoots across the vortex. Beatbreaker! I take off after the sphere, but I'm too late. Me and someone managed to recover from his fall faster than I could have ever imagined. And now he's hosed before me, yanking Beatbreaker like a fish on a hook. He destroys the sphere and magically grabs Beatbreaker, hovering her in mid-air. I skid to a stop, trying to still my terrified heart. Mangus snarls, but unlike the confident, fresh Mangus that I saw at the Metacomp Plaza, he was now exhausted. Breathing heavily, his limbs trembling. All this flying and fighting has exhausted his muscles to the breaking point. He's still dangerous, but if I time my actions carefully, I can use that to my advantage. Beatbreaker struggles, trying to kick Mangus. You really thought you could beat me, Silverspeak? I'm Mangus Bluehorn. I'm the greatest unicorn who ever lived, and you're a nobody! I focus. One blast to Mangus's head is all it should take. You should have known your place. You could have had a good life. You could have been together with Beatbreaker while I fulfilled my destiny, but no! You ruined everything for everyone. It's your fault! I twitch, ready to fire. Don't blame me for this, Silverspeak. Blame yourself! Mangus rears back and smashes his horn into Beatbreaker's chest and fires. The blast tears out through her back. For an instant, Beatbreaker's face is full of fear and pain. Then, blood trails from her mouth and she goes limp. No! Oh, sweet Celestia, no! I scream and fire. Mangus tries to dodge, but my blast tears his right leg off. He screams, grabbing his bloody stumps. Beatbreaker plunges towards Manhattan. I shoot after her, but my wings are failing, and I could barely feel them. Beatbreaker falls faster and faster, then I can catch up. Beatbreaker! Force my legs to my side, tuck my wings to streamline myself. I shoot down, barely matching Beatbreaker's speed. Trying to reach her, even as her blood splashes up onto my face. I try to grab her leg, but it slips from my grasp. Come on, come on! I try again, miss. I scream, I magically grab Beatbreaker and yank her into my grasp. Beneath us, the dome over Manhattan rises up to meet us. And at our speed, we'll be killed upon impact. I fire a blast at the shimmering surface, causing a crack to appear, but it's not nearly enough. I fire again and again, finally ending it with the strongest blast I ever shot. It breaks through and we plunge through the hole, falling towards the Manhattan Bridge. I beat my wings, trying to fly away, but they were too weak now. We're falling, and I couldn't stop us. No! Only one chance left. I shoot energy towards the bridge, trying to create an enormous bubble of energy for us to fall upon, like the ones the unicorns made when I first started flying. It takes shape, but it's fuzzy and I couldn't tell if it was strong enough. We hit, and I had the sickening realization we were going too fast. I clutch Beatbreaker as tightly as I can. Then we smash into the pavement, and everything goes black.